Good afternoon. Dan Priest. I'm with PwC, PwC's U.S. Chief AI Officer. So wonderful to be here at the event today. So many great speakers. I spend my time working with large companies trying to get value from AI, designing new business strategies, transforming functions, transforming operating models, transforming business models powered by AI. And my hope for today is that I, one, am memorable. There's so many great speakers. I don't have to be like the best speaker, but if somebody asked, was Dan Priest from PwC there speaking, if you could say yes, that would be very much appreciated. And that you remember me because it's very clear that there are winners and losers emerging from this AI race already. And we can see it in the numbers. And I just want to share some insights about who's winning, how they're winning, and what you can do to help. And I have 7 minutes to do that. And 7 minutes is not a lot of time to be memorable. So no more small talk. When we listen to the critics, the skeptics about AI, I think of, there's a recent academic study that talks about 95% of AI pilots are failing to produce an ROI. And I have a different perspective. And the perspective is also data-driven. It's really interesting. When we looked at, over the last few years, when Gen AI stormed onto the scene and started changing the way we do business, it started changing things. And companies started experimenting. And with experimentation comes failures, lessons. These are all very valuable things. But now in the last year, we're really seeing the companies take off in their value creation with AI. And if you look at the S&P 500 over the last few years, since Gen AI hit the scene, about 15% of the S&P companies that are spending more than 0.5% of revenue on AI are having these outsized expansions of their market cap. And the rest that are spending less than 0.5% of revenue on AI are not. So the ones who are spending more, and by the way, it's interesting because a benchmark is emerging. 0.5% of all revenue spent on AI is kind of interesting. It starts to gauge where you should be investing, which levels. And that's already changed. We did a recent survey, and 88% of the respondents said they're investing in AI, and more than half of them are getting productivity benefits, cost savings, a differentiated customer experience because of AI. And so 88% are saying, we're investing a lot, and we're going to invest more going forward. And so this 0.5% is interesting because there's a reason why they're getting 2 to 3 times the market cap expansion than the ones who are investing less than 0.5% of revenue. And here's a few things. One is the table stakes at a strategy level. The table stakes, the standards that you have to achieve to compete and win in the market are changing every single day, which, we talk a lot about how do you create differentiation with AI. For the typical enterprise company, by the way, we stripped out all the foundation, all the Mag 7, we stripped out all of those companies so we didn't distort this analysis, right? These are legacy businesses who want to become either AI native or have the benefits of AI native business models, right? And most companies are struggling to achieve this new table stakes, this new standard for table stakes. And they're paying attention in their sector, who's being successful, with what major focus areas, and they're trying to keep pace. And then there's a few who are saying, okay, I actually think I do have a differentiated value proposition that's going to be powered by AI. And there's an interesting way to be successful with that too. First, in this age of AI, human talent has never mattered more. The teaming of top engineering talent with deep business domain expertise, deep sector knowledge is winning. That combination. Second, the way they pick their spots makes so much of a difference. So the companies that aren't getting a lot of value are the ones who are chasing point solutions, very technical use cases. The ones who are getting value, we just heard about a full stack. They're considering the full stack, not just the data layer, not just the infrastructure, not just the application, but also the workflow, the people model, the op model, the business model, the strategy. They're thinking of it full stack, the full dimension of the business. And they're also trying to think as much as possible about the end-to-end. And so typically, we help companies pick their spots. We help companies pick their partners. We're looking for plays that enhance an ecosystem, that optimize the end-to-end process, not just solve an individual problem, not just show up as a technical addition to your enterprise architecture. The other thing that the winners are doing is they're very early on establishing the guardrails, the boundary conditions in which they can experiment. And this is important because for the past couple of decades, most legacy businesses have not been investing in innovation cultures. Most legacy businesses have been investing in standards cultures, standardized processes, get more efficient, drop those dollars to the bottom line. Now they're telling everybody, reinvent it all. And that's a different way of thinking. And so finding the boundary conditions to do that safely, appropriate use of data, ethical use and application of AIs, the ones who invest up front in making clear to the people who are experimenting within the enterprise where you can do it, how you can do it, those are the ones who are succeeding. So our aim is to help create value with AI. We're very happy to be here. What a great event. I hope my path crosses with yours on your AI journey, and thank you so much for your time today.